So I can confidently say that I have found the recipe to freedom and what the misconception of freedom is nowadays. And I can tell you that the first thing is that following the money trail is good up until a certain point where people dream of financial freedom. And the thing is there's always a different number for every person, right? 20K a month in your business might get you to where you want to be, where your life is fine. Where for other people, maybe they want to do 200K a month, which seems absurd to a lot of people, but maybe that's a lifestyle they want to fund. And that's their idea of freedom. But here's where it starts to get dicey, is because in your mind, you start seeing a future for yourself when you're making that kind of money. And it's almost like the job is complete. And it's not. That's where the misery starts to set in, especially as a young guy. So I'm in my 20s, and the moment I started to feel like my fire was burning out when I was building something is when I knew I had to make a change, and I actually wasn't free, because true freedom isn't the grind and the hustle towards an ideal outcome. It is the choice of autonomy. It's to have full autonomy over your life. And as you are going through this path of building what autonomy looks like for you, it means that you're doing something that's meaningful for you. Now, don't get me wrong, there is a period of time where you might have to grind. You might have to do what you got to do. Like when I first moved downtown to my condo here, I was like, all right, back's against the wall. I am not moving back into my parents' place. I need to really focus on my business, and that's the only thing I'm going to be doing for as long as I need to, is grind and build the business, which a couple of years have passed and that was the case. And now I've got myself in a position where I can afford to make a leap, make a pivot, and use that first business as a stepping stone into something that aligns with me more, gives me energy, and I feel more free for what I'm creating, because I got a lot of ideas and a lot of things that I want to do, but what I originally was doing wasn't aligned with who I was and what I wanted to become. It was a good stepping stone in business, right? But it's not, like, I never pictured myself being like a billionaire consultant or a billion-dollar, multi-million-dollar agency owner. Like, I just never thought about that, right? And even though I've been blessed to make good money and build a good business, and I mean, where a lot of people fail, I've been very fortunate because I built my business, I built my connections, my network, and I know I'm good. God's blessed me. And here's where the thing comes in, because even though I've been blessed with what it is that I wanted, I can travel, I can go wherever I want, work from wherever I want, I got my own condo to myself, it still made me feel like I was in bondage, I was trapped because of what I was working on and working towards. It wasn't fulfilling. So your freedom element, the feeling of autonomy, comes when you truly are aligned with what it is that you want to be doing, right? And it doesn't mean doing more. It doesn't mean you have to do more things, right? At this given time, it maybe means doing less of the things you don't want to do, right? It could be in the business that you're building as well. Like, you don't want to be doing outreach all day. Well, you could probably hire that out and have somebody else do it for you. Or you don't want to be doing sales. You could probably hire that out and have somebody else do that for you. Where you get to focus on more of a creative aspect like marketing or video sales letters or whatever. Or if you want to start a new venture, that can all come to fruition because you are diving deep into what you're aligned with, right? I ignored that for the longest time. And here's a caveat too, is that other people, you think that other people will have a perception of who you should be. Does that make sense? You think that other people think of you in a certain way, so that way you'll act in accordance and you'll only continue to do that thing. For example, when I was an athlete for 20 years of my life and then became a professional athlete, people only knew me as the guy who played hockey, right? Now, if I go back into my life in the last 4 or 5 years, I'm not even the same person ever since I left the game completely, right? So that identity is not me. People might want to group me in that box because that's how they remember me, but that's not in alignment with what I'm doing now, so therefore it's not me. It's just not me. So Think about that. Same thing with like your parents, if they have an idea of who you're becoming or want to become, right? In their minds. And it's not in alignment with who it is that you want to become and what you want to do. Okay? Because there's endless possibilities out there, and you just got to decide and work towards that. So you do feel free. Right? So the freedom, yes, the money comes with that, and like it enhances your life to be a lot more stress-free. But when you get to a certain level, you realize that it's like very unfulfilling, right? It's great and you're very blessed, but there's another element to it. There's another gear that you got to shift in order to get to where you want to be in your mind and your goals that you have, right? And a little part to that might be that you still have limiting beliefs. You still don't believe that you can get there, right? And usually that comes down to your habits. Maybe you're not doing the things that the person that you see yourself becoming is doing, right? Or would be doing, right? So if I'm picturing myself as a guy who's running like a big fitness apparel brand or something like that one day, and I'm not taking actions to set myself up for that, whether it be starting the brand, doing marketing, getting influencer marketing on products, blah, 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 testing, ads, all this stuff, well, then I'm not living in accordance with this person that I see myself becoming. Therefore, I will never feel free because there's a distance and it's a mental block. Therefore, that distance in your mind now becomes a limiting belief because you don't see yourself there, out there in the distance. Seems like it's far away, right? When really it's right here, it's presence. It's you becoming that person today, doing the actions that they would do today and living more in alignment with the person that you want to become. That is freedom. That's how you feel free, right? And then the riches and the abundance, that comes with being grateful and expressing gratitude now for the life that you have, the health that you have, the wealth that you currently have. It's not just monetary, it's your health, quite literally, because health is wealth, and then your relationships that you have, and all the good things that you have in your life that you really need to recognize. So this video was just for me to get back on YouTube and get the ball rolling, because things are shifting in my life where I've made a different pivot with my business to be more aligned with who it is that I am and what I want to build, along with a personal brand that I am going to be building along the way here as well. So I'm excited for you to join. Things are going to be looking a lot different really soon. So I hope this video helped in some way. By the way, I just made a new newsletter. You can go down, click the link, join my newsletter. I also got a video there you can watch as well, and then follow me on Instagram and connect with me over there. And that's that. We'll see where this goes. That's all I got. Cheers.